So we were just talking about welcome Bobby from 16.
Yes, sir.
And of course we got Lord Gates. We were just speaking about a podcast that Greg's cousin does with also what's the guy's name from Tombs?
Mike Hill from Tombs.
Mike
They
Hill,
do
Mike Hill from
Road
Tombs.
to Ruin.
Killer podcast, man. Like I was highly impressed.
I want to listen to that Gigi Allin one.
That's
what
what
we
we're
were
talking
just
about.
talking about.
We're
I
just
was
talking
like
about Gigi Allin.
I came out of that enlightened, I guess. You know, I didn't the way that that Randy put a lot of stuff and talked about stuff really, you know, made a lot of sense. And then we were talking about everything with the band and how, you know, there's certain people. I think when he started getting fucked up on drugs, it was constantly. I don't think it really. I think it was an act for a while, but I just think he was so fucked up that wasn't an act anymore. That was just. I think that was just him. I think he was so fucked up.
How could it be an act when you start rolling in your own shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I know.
Crazy people do two things, man. That's how you know somebody's crazy when they'll fight you naked or they'll roll or play with their own shit.
Well, they'll take their microphone and shove it up their caboose and then lick it like an ice cream. And that's
how you know someone's crazy. If they rip their clothes off and they're willing to fight you naked. I learned that a while ago. Yeah.
I told Bill before
I want no part in that.
I told Bill before when I forget who we were talking. I think we were talking to somebody about this, but I only get to see Gigi Allin once, and it was 7 minutes that I got to see. That's because I went to this club called Club Babyhead in Providence, and I went to the door and I was going to college, and I used to videotape all the hardcore shows and punk rock shows at this club in like the 90s. And I go to the door, and the guy at the door, the owner's like, "Greg, you picked a perfect night to come. Did you bring your camera?" And I said, "No." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "Gigi Allen's here." I go, "Get the fuck out." He goes, "Yeah, seriously." And I go, "Really?" And it was like there was a lot of people there. There's quite a few, but he came out and just within a matter of 3 minutes, he took a shit on the floor, picked it up with his hand like it was silly putty, and went like this. And I turned around and made a beeline to the door, and about 20 seconds later, you just heard everybody screaming and yelling, and they come running out the door. And he was just like a monkey, like, ooh, here it comes. But did you ever get to see Gigi Allin, or do you ever hear stories and shit about him coming to your town or anything like that, or your area?
Oh, tons of stories. I mean, I grew up in LA, and one time he played in San Francisco, or he played in San Diego, and I had friends that went. I was never really interested. I read a Maximum Rock and Roll interview in like the 10th grade with him, and that was enough.
Yeah,
that was enough. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever even heard the Murder Junkies. I'm surprisingly ignorant of a lot of cool stuff at my age.
No, hey, I'm with you. I never knew. I never got into them because there's two things that will make me, send me into a very bad rage, and that's if you throw shit near me or come around me with shit, or if you spit on me.
Yeah,
one of those two.
I know. When poop is involved, it's party over.
Yeah.
Game over, man.
I'll do some weird shit, and I have done some crazy shit, but I don't care who you are. If you're a super fucking model and you take a dump in front of me, even if I see it and don't smell it, I'm gone.
Go.
Yeah,
I'm gone. I gotta go.
I'm out.
I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, this got this just went past my weird meter.
It shouldn't be so shocking too, since everybody does it twice a day or whatever.
Right.
It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but sorry.
But that's just a part of humanity you don't want to see. You're just like, no.
Yeah.
It's like seeing like your parents having sex or something. You're just like, no, I don't want any. I don't want that veil. I don't want that veil to be lifted up. It's like,
the thing that should not be seen.
Exactly. Yeah.
The thing that should not be.
Exactly. Well, this started off the podcast with a good.
So what'd you guys talk about? Well, we talked about Gigi Allin and shit. But honestly, the songs, I never knew some of his songs until like the last couple years because I had heard other bands covering these songs. I'm like, that song's pretty cool. And then to come to find out, some of these songs were fucking his songs. I'm like, holy shit! I would have never. I thought it was like David Allan Coe or somebody, some fucking country outlaw guy.
Some like English
fucking
punk band
him.
or something. Yeah, like
Yeah, it was fucking. It was weird. So 16. I've been a fan, honestly, of 16 since 94, 95 ish. When I was living in Hawaii, a buddy of mine had some kind of, I don't know if it was a split or a compilation or something that he had given me, and I heard one of your songs. And then I was in Tower Records when Dropout came out, and I had picked that up, and I was like, oh fuck yeah. And then everything after that, I got into it. So I know Chris, you and Chris were the original guys that started the band, correct? Back in, was it Santa Ana, California, or something like that, or LA?
Yeah, Santa Ana.
Okay. And so what when you guys started the band, what were you, obviously I can kind of tell your influences, but what did you have any like eclectic influences? Like, obviously everybody was into like Sabbath or Metallica or Slayer and stuff like that. Did you have anything like eclectic back then, or anything underground from that area, or anything that you guys were into?
Yeah, probably like I mean, you can hear it in us, but like Unsane and
Nice.
Fudge Tunnel, and I was a huge Sonic Youth fan,
Okay.
and Drive Like Jehu, and the Dwarves. I used to like the Dwarves
Oh,
a
Dwarves are
lot.
fucking great.
great,
Best
Yeah,
album
but-
covers ever.
great live too.
Yeah, speaking of G.G. Allin, I saw the Dwarves a bunch with that original lineup, and they would have sets that were like 15 minutes that would just end in a fight.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
the greatest thing.
Wouldn't they like fight the crowd and then fight each other or something? Or they would start
Oh
fighting
my
each
God.
other, and then one of them would jump in the crowd and just start pounding on. Yeah.
I
What's the
saw him
guitar player?
once. He Who Cannot Be Named.
Yeah, the guy who played in like underwear and a mask,
Yeah.
like a wrestling
Yep.
mask.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently
Never
he's like
saw
a
him.
school teacher. That's why he has to have his face.
Oh, is that
Covered
what
up.
it is? Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
never
he like
knew
wears
that.
a mask and he's naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him at Jabberjaw in LA, and they played it. It was when Fuck You Up and Get High came out, and they
Yeah.
all come out. They all come out in fishnets, nude, and Converse high tops.
Nice. Nice.
Awesome.
And they play like a 15-minute set, and they put the mic in front of my friend's face between the songs, and he goes, the dwarves have small cocks, and the singer Blag just hit him in the head with the microphone. Just hit him in the head with the
How
microphone.
dare you
And
talk
He
about how small
He
my
gave him a
penis is.
sure birthmark.
Yeah, yeah.
fucking great.
And we drove home thinking that was hilarious. But from back then, I saw Soundgarden and Prong and Voivod at the Whiskey when I was in high school. So all that stuff, Bullet La Volta. Believe it or not, I saw a really heavy show, and it was the band Soul Asylum.
Oh,
When
really?
I was in high school.
I saw that.
so
tour.
Runaway
Asylum-
Train, those guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They toured
yeah.
with it was Soul Asylum and Spin Doctors when I saw them.
I saw them in like 10th grade. It was Soul Asylum when Hang Time came out, and this band the Buck Pets, and it was like
Oh, wow.
the heaviest thing I ever saw,
Yeah.
except for like DRI or something,
Yeah.
But like it was like pre-grunge and noisy and crazy. And then like 3 years later they came out with the Runaway Train, like
Right.
adult contemporary.
Runaway, and
So
made a shit ton of money
yeah.
and like disappeared.
I had a little bit of shame, but those are all like formidable experiences.
Hey,
And
hey, we all have those
uh,
bands.
I saw Jane's Addiction a bunch when I was in high
Oh,
school,
cool,
and the
man.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. I saw Jane's Addiction at the Anti Club in front of maybe like 300 people
Yeah.
a
Yep.
few
Yeah.
times. And
I saw them at a small
was just-
club too during Nothing Shocking tour in Tampa. That was
yeah, it was just
fucking
mind
awesome.
blowing.
They
Mind
were
blowing. Totally.
phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Stephen
So when I got in
Perkins
the
is-
band, I just got a delay pedal, and whatever came out of me. And of course, we were Helmet was going on too, like
Oh
strapping
yeah.
on,
Of course.
and,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they
yeah.
were they were touring to a few hundred people at a time, max, and so
Yeah.
that all encouraged us to start a band.
I got to see Helmet with do you remember the band Crawl Pappy?
Yeah,
Crawl Pappy
yeah.
opened for them off of their, and I'm drawing a blank, but off their full length release. They played at Club Babyhead, and it was right it was in between Strapping On and Meantime. So it was right
Oh, wow.
before Helmet blew up.
Yeah,
But the place
still
was
a huge
sold
buzz
out.
about them.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Crawl Pappy. Oh, Deluxe. Deluxe is the album. That album, I must have gone through 3 CDs. I just
Who
burned
came
it
out of Crawl Pappy? Because we know somebody.
Yeah, the
Was it a
guitarist went, yeah, and I should know this because I just bought the CD and I can't remember it because my brain is fried. But yes, there was the I think it was the guitarist and the drummer were the 2 that started another band.
Yeah.
Because the
remember.
singer died. I think the singer
Okay.
passed away.
Yeah, I remember
Bobby,
seeing
you know who I kind of hear as an influence off of you is and I've seen you wear the shirt before, and it's one of my favorite designs of all time, is Buzz Oven.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you ever get to
I don't
hang with
know.
them?
Unfortunately,
Stole all the money and drank all the beer.
Oh,
and
dude,
took all the drugs and ran away.
Go ahead. We have stories too. Bill and I have
no,
good stories.
our drummer Mateo was actually in that band, the one who played in our Dark Clouds, whatever, Deep
Yep.
Cuts for Dark Clouds album.
Yep.
He was in that band as a drummer, but I think we're a little before Buzz Oven, at least in my ears. They had that Soar, and when Soar came out, I mean, I already had the songs for Dropout ready.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it was kind of like almost parallel. You guys were like a little bit before. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, in fact, I think we probably would have released Dropout before if Pusshead wouldn't have sat on it for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So, I think as far as like, but I was definitely influenced by I Hate God on Not Take Is Needed for Pain. I mean, I love that record.
Yeah.
But their first one, when I heard that, I was like, what are they tuning their guitars to? Yeah.
All the way.
I'm gonna go down another step, and and I heard Caius too. Caius was a really cool band around here.
Hell yeah.
That used to play to nobody. I mean, honestly, I saw Caius a few times to nobody. I remember one time I went and saw some other band, and then my friend was like, "Oh yeah, this band Caius is playing next," and I'm like, "Well, they sound like?" They sound like Bad Danzig, and I'm like, "Okay, let's go." and I totally, and like,
you fuck.
Bad Danzig.
Yeah, 3 days later, I heard the guy from The Obsessed, Scott Reeder's in it, and I'm like, and then I saw him a couple times, in front of, this place called Dragonfly in LA that maybe had 100 people, and it was mind blowing. They were awesome.
It's so strange how like Bill and I grew up on the East Coast, Connecticut, and we saw all the bands that came through. You grew up on the West Coast, but you have similar stories of like, I'm going to be 50 this year. And I remember I like talking to kids and stuff. And I mentioned, oh yeah, I saw Queens of the Stone Age. And they're like, you saw Queens of the Stone Age? But if I hear someone say, oh yeah, I saw Caius, I'm like, you saw Caius? Because I never got to see Caius. That's one of the bands I always wanted to see, and I never got to see him live, and I just don't know why. I don't know if the moon didn't align right with the planets when they came around, or I was going to see
weren't
Slayer
together for all that long.
Yeah,
and when they toured, it was either part of a huge package deal, or they rarely headlined.
They did they did a lot of festivals. I remember.
Yeah,
Unita was awesome too.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah, totally. Coping with the Urban Coyote is just
awesome.
And you can't even. I don't know where you can't get that record. I know, like I've gone like 100% streaming, so some things you just can't listen to anymore. You can't find.
I got that one and some other one. My buddy is huge into Caius and every offshoot of it, and he sent me a bunch of obscure shit I've got from United, like live stuff and everything else, man. I really like those guys. I think those guys are fucking killer, man. I like John Garcia, so pretty much like you just said with Caius, anything he does, it's I'm a fan of. So
I'm a big Brant Bork fan. So anything he puts his seal on, and Nick too. Nick is just whatever. Nick was in that hardcore band Blood Clot recently before.
Oh yeah,
His name passed
with,
away.
Todd Youth, yeah.
Todd and I got to go see them with Bill, the drummer from Queens. That we both
Joey
did.
Castillo.
Oh yeah, Joey
Castillo.
Savage
What a
drummer.
4-person lineup, and I was like in this little tiny like an American Legion hall in Boston with like 30 people, and there's these 4 just incredible giants in the music industry, and I'm just like, I'm looking around going, where is everybody?
No one cares.
And they're like, well, it's not Cro-Mags. Well, it's not it's not Danzig. Well, it's not Queens. It's not. I'm like, shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned
True,
Unsane. Unsane just put out a new album. I was just listening to it the other day.
Was that an unreleased album, an old album that they didn't release? Or is this a brand new album?
They were working on new. They were working on
2021
a while ago.
So I mean, it's sounded newer.
Wow.
I mean, unless it's just super fucking remastered, but it sounded pretty fucking killer. I only listened to like 3-4 songs, but I mean, it's Unsane.
I know he does the Human Impact. Have you heard that? Human Impact is his new band with the guys from the Swans. The guy from Cop Shoot Cop. If you've ever heard of Cop Shoot Cop, they were awesome. 2 bass player band from back then. Human Impact. Check it out, man. It's on Ipecac. It's fucking cool.
Oh, you can't go wrong, man.
Yeah,
fucking
anything
Mike Patton. That is. Yeah. What was it? The new Tomahawk that just came out. Did you hear that?
I haven't heard it.
Oh, it's great.
Even the last Melvins. The last Melvins is good.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys in the band are, especially the drummer, he'll know about all that stuff. Anything Mike Patton, he'll know about.
Who? Dion?
Yeah.
I sold him some cymbals like a couple years ago now. That was probably a couple years. Yeah. He sent me some cool shit from
and I'm sure he already wrecked them.
He did. He told me like 2 months later, he goes, I already fucking broke him. I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shit
hits hard, man. Shit hits hard.
I break shit all the fucking time, man. I get all my stuff. This is my man cave upstairs in my house. So
if they didn't make Peisty Rudes, forget it. My stuff would just be destroyed. I started playing Rudes when Bill and I started hanging out. And Bill's like, you got to get this cymbal, Peisty Rude. You can never break it. And then he broke it.
Really?
The first Rude you broke, he snapped it. And I went,
fucking broke like all
what the,
they were fucking expensive too. Those stupid
they were.
Fucking things.
The Red Series, man.
I had the 2 expensive hobbies, fucking hockey and drumming growing up. I was fucking nothing else.
Might as well just throw in jet skiing.
Yeah, exactly. Or just fucking jets. Just owning a jet would have probably been fucking cheaper.
Yeah. Rock and roll's a rich boy hobby for sure. That shit ain't cheap.
And I wasn't rich. I just sold all my BMX bikes I used to ride. I just sold those and fucking dumped it all into that shit. I'm just dumb because now I could fucking retire for what those things sell for.
I saw Bobby. I saw recently on the 16 band Facebook page that fucking, where was that picture taken? That priceless picture of the garbage can with the toilet on top of it for touring.
The leaves. That was Nevers, France.
Oh, France.
It was awesome. It was an awesome show. We've done a bunch of, when you play in venues that aren't really venues.
Yeah.
It's kind of make do. Sometimes you show up and you're like, oh, right, they got a generator and we're playing in the basement of a wine place. But, there's
we get wine and cheese for dinner.
Yeah. Oh, nothing like eating a bunch of cheese and wine before you play, though. That's
fuck yeah.
Well, you're not gonna use that toilet because you're not gonna shit for like 4 days.
Yeah.
So,
that's why it was up there. You don't need this. These guys aren't gonna shit. They'll just piss out back.
Yeah.
What was
it's punk rock camping. So
yeah, there you go. What was the biggest band you guys ever played with? Like, did you ever play with Slayer or anybody to that caliber?
Yeah.
Here?
Oh yeah.
Was it Hellfest?
We No, we played with Slayer literally when we were like a band for like 8 months.
Wow.
At the time, Atlantic Records was like gonna sign us or something, and so their manager named Rick Sales, and we could like barely play. Like I could barely play guitar. I could tune it, but I could fake it pretty
Yeah.
good. And we were playing at Jabberjaw, and then they were like, "All right, you guys want to play with Slayer in Las Vegas, Bakersfield, and Fresno?"
Fuck
On the
no. Fuck
No,
Slayer.
nah.
Do
You
you
got
want
it was
anybody
just
less than that?
it was just one of those. It was just one of those, only happens to, I hit the rock and roll lottery really early with that, and then never hit it again. Um, but we played. I mean, it's on video. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. I have the videos. It was on the Divine Intervention tour.
Oh,
Fuck
wow.
And and so,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. We got like a half hour. They were really nice to us. We didn't have like we didn't have. I mean, we were broke, like flat broke, like homeless broke. So we had like a friend's pickup, and another car, like one of our girlfriend's cars, and we're following around Slayer in a pickup and another car, and we got like $200 a night, and played to God knows 5,000 people or something. But it was amazing. We got like a really good response. They didn't, we didn't get too many bottles thrown at us.
How many shows did you guys play?
I think 3.
Nice.
And then literally after we go back to playing in Costa Mesa to like 10 people.
Yeah.
So it was
Fucking
such
crazy.
as life.
Yeah, get you knocks you down a little bit. Dook. Like, oh man.
Yeah. But it was I mean, yeah, and later on, like maybe like 10 years ago or something, we played Hellfest, and 5 years ago I played Roadburn.
Yep.
And a couple years ago we played the Maryland Death Fest, maybe 1,000 people in the room. But we've been very lucky. We get the off. We played Desert Fest in Antwerp. That was just a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So we've been. I can't complain. They dig us up every few years, and and it'll
16
stop.
still around.
Let's see what the
Get those
16
guys.
boys are doing.
It's so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hard to find your stuff on YouTube, like the videos, the regular music videos. But fuck, man, like trying to find an interview with you guys or anything else, man. I'm like, it's fucking hard. Like all this like weird shit comes up. I put in 16.
Well,
Fuck.
for one, the name of the band is retarded. So like everybody asks me, like, would you, you know, if you knew your name was going to be so hard to Google, why would you name it something else? And I'm like, if I would have saw fucking Google happening, I wouldn't have started a band.
I wouldn't have been in 16.
Yeah,
like,
you know when we
band-
started, right? Yeah.
yeah, 1991 or 92. If I would have
Right.
thought of Google,
Hey,
I
without that
definitely wouldn't
2020
have started a
hindsight,
band.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not a big fan of doing press or interviews or much of anything anymore. Just I mean, not to sound glib about it, but oh man, I just those are the songs, and we can talk about the songs, but I don't know what to do anymore.
Bill and I just had this conversation literally a couple weeks ago. It's like, not only is it hard for us to interview people sometimes and come up with stuff and to keep it fresh and interesting, but if you look at it on the artist side, sometimes you guys are just like, hey, it's been done. It's done. I'm in a band. I play guitar. Come see us. Have a nice night. Bye. Click.
It's not well, you know what it is. I don't mind doing it's the written interviews where they send really involved questions, and it's like, man, I'm not, and then it's all about the past, and I'm
Right.
just never psyched on yesterday. I'm only psyched on the new riffs and tomorrow, and that's what keeps this whole thing rolling, is me being psyched on. I mean, I was in the recording studio all day today, laid down like 4 songs. We have 13 new songs.
Nice.
We have 21 cover songs. We have a set that brings 2 from each record, and then a bunch of unreleased things. I just feel like I'm always hyped on that, and then sitting down and writing an essay about a record I made in '97 that didn't do so great at the time, but people
Yeah.
still like now.
Well, hold those thoughts
It's
because
not.
fucking definitely, I definitely want to hear about all that stuff. So we're coming to that. That's fucking awesome. But I understand what you're saying about 3-part questions. I fucking hate 3-part
Oh,
questions.
those
So
suck.
blah 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 and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And you're like, or an interview. Like
And
if you're doing an
it's just
interview.
because I'm lazy. Like if I gotta write memos at work. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah. And I'm an
I don't
instructor.
want to write. I don't want to.
I got TPS reports to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm an
we could-
instructor,
we
so
could
I have to
go-
teach. I teach all day and I have, sometimes we do interviews for new people and stuff like that. So sometimes I have to see these fucking questions we've got to ask people that that are getting ready to come in, and you're just like, fuck, man. Like, why not just break this question down into 3 questions? Because anybody you ask the question to, they're always like, could you repeat the second part? And then could you repeat the third part? It doesn't fail. I don't care how smart you are, how much knowledge you have. If I ask you something that's a 3-part question, your brain is going to pick up what you probably have the most knowledge on. And that's what it is. I'm like, oh, so I can imagine. And I've seen, and Greg and I, we used to do the Into the Void podcast, which we did with some other friends of ours. And Greg and I kind of broke away from that. We're doing our own thing. And I think we had asked you a while ago to do that. And I was like, fuck, man, I gotta reach back out to you so you can be with Greg and I. And I've watched a lot of stuff before we interview people. Like, I don't ever want to be that guy that people go, man, this guy sucks. Like, he's asking the dumbest shit.
He doesn't know
He's asking
shit.
shit that nobody cares about.
Yep.
You can tell that when sometimes when you ask somebody, like yourself, if I ask you a question, you can tell when they ask the person a question that they really don't want to answer. They're just like, you can see it in their face where they want to go, you know what, next question. But they don't. They fucking bite down and they have to answer it. And I'm just like, I feel for them. I'm just like, fuck, man. I know he didn't want to talk about this shit again.
Suck the air out of the room.
Exactly. Or they ask him something really personal, like some really personal shit.
Yeah. Were you going through like a real terrible divorce when you wrote this song back in '94? When you were living in a car down by the river
were you not
and
having sexual relations?
What type of gun did
Was
you
it like
have
that?
on, hand? And
Were you shooting heroin? Heroin's bad. So like, what the fuck is wrong? Don't ask people that shit, man. You're an
Well,
interview.
the answers to all those questions are yes, yes, no, yes, and a 22.
Yeah.
Here we go. See, I told you.
well
Greg.
good.
Yeah. And can you phrase that again too as a 3-part question so we can circle around it again?
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll break it down.
Right.
So we got you. You got the band together with Chris. Chris, I've only seen you guys live one time, and that was like back in like 96, maybe 97, somewhere in there. I don't remember if it was in California, 96, 98. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was in California. Did you guys ever tour the East Coast or no?
Yeah, like 97.
That's probably what it was.
With Grief. With Grief.
Yeah.
You played with Grief. That might have been it.
Yeah.
But I've only seen you guys once, and it was awesome. Like, I had talked to you guys after, and everybody was super fucking cool. And I had told you guys that, I got into you guys when I was I was stationed in the Marine Corps in Hawaii through a buddy of mine from California, and it was awesome. So you guys put the band together. You and Chris basically put the band together with one other dude, or was there a couple other guys? Or like you said, you got the band together. You didn't have it together too long. You got some stuff from Atlantic. You opened up for Slayer, and then what kind of happened from there?
I just kind of fizzled, then it came to being a new band and paying your dues, and playing the shows to nobody and building up a crowd in some places, not in others. But we kept releasing. The one thing about it's like our tour history, especially back then, was spotty just because we were basically unstable people. So it's, it's hard enough to pay your rent with a shitty job than to quit and, go on the road to risk it all.
Yeah.
So, you know, we toured sporadically and on weekends and, you know, between jobs and that kind of thing. And that's really the difference between Dropout and Blaze of Incompetence. And we had lineup changes, you know. I don't know if you know, the people that are into sludge metal are usually pretty fucked up. So, you
Yeah.
know, we'd attract you know, druggies, you know, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
criminals. And that's, you know, that's cool. But you know, maybe that's who we were. Um, but as far as like the core of the band, it was you know, me and the original drummer, Jason, who was in for a couple records. Um, and then Chris came on as the singer after we had a couple songs. And then Chris's personality and his humor kind of made it his own as far as lyrically and, you know, the aesthetic of the whole thing.
Yeah. I picked up
You
on
know,
that right away from the beginning.
the negative, you know, self-hating, but kind of,
His fucking
you know,
lyrics are
Yeah.
great, man.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
almost like a, you know, like Rodney Dangerfield or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Very tongue in
Yeah,
cheek.
yeah.
Very
And
black.
not
so,
literal,
you
not
know,
literal, but like kind of like, fuck, could he be literal? Is this? But if you know, if you know, if you're a fan of the band, you're like,
yeah,
yeah, fucking these guys are, yeah, like you said.
yeah, we just kept it rolling, you know, people would come and go. And then when Tony got in the band, and then we had a few different drummers, you know, they would, I don't know, we had a guy, RD, who was an awesome guy, but, you know, he overdosed on drugs or something.
Oh,
And then,
fuck.
you know, we had this guy, Mark, who played on Zoloft Smile, who's an awesome guy, but, you know, wasn't really getting along with Chris, drinking a lot. And then I was going to have a kid. So I moved down to San Diego to, you know, work a job. And then in 2007, I think we got together for like someone asked us to play at the Relax Bar in LA. And then we just played again. We're like, oh, I guess we can still do this. So we just did, you know. I've always kind of just let it happen. You know, I've
Did you still
never
play
really.
during that downtime? Were you still writing riffs? Were you still playing, or did you
Yeah,
kind
I
of
was
hard
I
on?
was in I was in a couple other bands too. I was in this band that was like kind of like a rock band or Queens of the Stone Age with a girl singer called Love Motor. Our demo was actually really good, and we had a song on Skate video, and we just played locally here in San Diego, you know, like bars. We didn't do covers or anything. And then that girl moved away to Portland, and that fizzled out. And then, you know, 16 just came back. We recorded like 4 songs. And Rennie at Relapse was like, well, you guys gonna put this out? And we're like, are we? So, you know, and then we've been kind of just rolling along ever since. And it's, you know, at this point, I just don't stop.
Yeah.
This is like, you know, you know, people need a hobby, and I've chosen it. This is it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just, you know, this is it.
And you guys
I
are
can,
fucking good at it, so stick with it. You know.
Well, you're at the helm now. You're the Vox too, right? You're doing the gits and vocals.
yeah. I mean, I've always been the Greg Ginn of the band.
Mhm.
So, you know, I mean, even though Tony was definitely part of the brains, but I've always been the guy
Mhm.
who everyone looks to. Is like, what are we doing? What are we playing? What do you want to do? So I just, you know, naturally my personality just kind of, and then I
Yeah.
just slipped on over. You know, Chris was taking like a couple of years to write a song, and you could tell he wasn't just into it. You know, no huge drama or anything. It's just, you know, he's old and it hurts. You know, and he just didn't enjoy it like he did. So we saw it coming. So it's not a huge surprise. And I just kind of slipped on over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just kind of like,
I'll take
you
that,
know,
Mike. Thank you.
yeah.
and I've been doing backup vocals for like 5 years, so
Right.
it's not a huge thing for me. You know?
He sang on half of the new album, basically, right?
Yeah, Dream Squasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For them, I sang like on all the choruses. I do backup on every chorus, so I sing on every single song.
Yeah.
But lead, I did half, and then of course on this new one, I'll do all of it.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know, I
fucking
can do some.
Sadlands is, dude. you fucking nailed it, man. Like that
Thank
is
you.
that no shit, man. Like everybody I play that like when I'm warming up my students and getting ready to, we're getting ready to do some stuff. I'll throw that on, and I've got a playlist of everything from Slayer to fucking Miley Cyrus. I mix it up, all kinds of weird shit. But yeah,
Have you
gotta,
seen Have you seen Wrecking Ball by the girl that is in that band
Royal Thunder?
Thunder?
Yes,
Oh my
nails it.
God!
It's fucking awesome, isn't
the
it?
guy from Cave-In,
with the guy with
Cave-In
that's
guitarist.
2 minutes to midnight.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 2 minutes to midnight.
She
podcast.
fucking nails it, doesn't she?
Fucking.
It's, I just keep watching it.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
I think her name is Minnie.
Yeah, it is.
She's amazing.
She's the bass player.
She's
Yeah, she
so-
plays bass.
She also does
God.
she does the Lemmy one where she wears the mustache. Have you seen that
I gotta
one?
watch that.
And she,
No,
I
I
think
didn't
she
see
does.
that.
She does. So for a while, when COVID hit, the guy that does 2 minutes to late night, he actually just reached out, to a bunch of different musicians and had them do, okay, you're over in California, you're in Oakland, you're over in Jersey, you're wherever, and they start doing all those, the videos like the drummer from Anthrax does. Okay, where and oh my God, they did like
I've seen some of the
Mastodon, Royal Thunder, Cave-In, freaking the main band is Mutoid Man, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the guitar player.
Oh, he's a drummer, and it's Steve Brodsky from Cave-In, and oh my God, she does a Lemmy one that's just killer.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
I haven't seen that either.
And
so
then
the
other one you got to watch is the very last episode of 2 minutes to late night. They do
Is that the Integrity?
No, they do
song?
hold on. What's his name? Lynette from Thin Lizzy. They do Cowboy
Phil
Song.
Lynott?
They do Cowboy Song, and then they do The Boys Are Back in Town. Watch that one.
I gotta watch that one.
Fucking killer.
Nice.
But yeah.
Nice.
What's his name? The main guy is Guarsenio Hall.
Yeah.
He's got like
with
a
the
white
fucking makeup on and
corpse
shit. He's
paint.
got the black corpse paint.
with a
Fucking great.
tuxedo.
He totally shreds a guitar too.
Yeah, he's good, man. They get great
Yeah.
musicians to do shit. But that Wrecking
Such a
Ball
cool-
was killer.
But anyway, going back to Sadlands, you fucking nailed it. Like people hear that, to like, who is this? These guys, this song is great, and the video is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's killer.
Like I'd never seen the video. I just watched the video the other day. I was like, wow, that's fucking
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to put my money where my mouth was on that. That tune. I wrote it. And then the video, I always wanted to work with that guy, Michael Panduro, who did and he's did some great videos. He did that one for A Job for a Cowboy, which is just some guy walking through, and he like pulls an octopus out of the kid's stomach, and then sets the dead kid
It's
free.
strange.
And it's like it's barely a video, and I'm like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
I'm getting the video by that guy. So I've been planning on that video for like 5 years.
So does the video follow the song? Like the song, is there
Badland
correlations? Are they
connected?
Yeah. Song is about so I got this fucked up half sister who's like, on meth, and then gets her daughters are like on drugs too, my nieces, and then their kids are like taken away by child services, and then like the family's trying to like get those kids out of the state, and then the sister and the niece go to prison, and it's just this whole fucked up drug story in my family that I'm like removed from, because I'm like sober and not into
so
that.
this is true. Like this is real
like,
world.
This is like your version of the Wonderful Whites. The fucking
okay. So that's even.
So this is like going on, and then I was like, and then I was trying to write a song about an old skate spot called Sadlands. I was there one time with this guy Greg Hernandez, and we get jumped by gang members, and Greg Hernandez beats the hell out of like 3 dudes and bites one of their fingers off.
Oh,
and
nice.
I was like, well, I need to write a song about this. And then I sat down to write the song, and then it just came out of this other stuff going on in my life.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to Michael Panduro about the video, and it was just like hook or crook, like, his budget was definitely something that other people weren't going to buy for us. So I just bought it myself.
Yeah.
Like I want what I want.
Right.
And I'm not going to borrow money. I'm not going to borrow money to make it happen. I'm just going to talk to the dude. And
Oh, you
and he
fucking
made it
nailed it, man.
happen.
That was great
He
video.
made it
Great video.
awesome.
I was like, fuck,
I
man.
like both. I like the one when I'm in it. For two, it's heavy metaphor. And for three, every shot is just a brilliant photograph.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like it's
art.
like a
It's very-
mini, it's
that's
like a
the thing, it's
mini
art.
movie. It's like a
Yeah.
mini movie.
Yeah, it is.
It won like the Hole in the Head horror film festival in Sacramento or in San
Right on.
Francisco.
No
It
shit.
won the
Nice.
top honors.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm glad for my gamble, because it really, of course I'd like more views and all that nonsense, but as it is, I think it'll stand the test of time, and I'm super proud of the song, and I'm super proud of that video, the whole
Oh, yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
Well, after Greg and I talk about it, you'll get at least 3 more views.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Now
At
we'll
at least
And-
three.
we're
and
starting.
I'll bring about 4 people here.
So we'll have 7.
Yeah, so we're
Say
what's the
7.
trade? We interviewed Dwid, and you just talked about skateboarding. We just interviewed Dwid from Integrity, and we spent a lot of time. And that's one thing when Greg and I talked about setting up and doing the podcast is like, we want to talk about music, but we want to talk about like personal, like not super personal stuff, but
What
like
people are into.
what the fuck did you do growing up, man? Like, did you skate? And we got into a big thing about skateboards and what kind of decks we had and where we skated,
Well,
shit like
You
that.
guys
Yeah.
want to? I have quite a history of skateboarding.
Let's hear it, man.
like
Let's talk about it. Fuck,
deep-
let's do it.
Deep history. Hold on.
Oh, he's going to get the you got the board?
He's probably
No,
got a
I have-
16
I have-
board.
I have several. So that right there is the Big O skate park in Orange, California in 1977.
Whoa.
That is
Nice.
that is me at age 4.
fucking
Holy
rad.
shit.
What that's 84 you said?
Are you like Casey
no,
Chaos from Amen, where you're
77.
like a
Oh,
professional?
77. Okay.
Yeah, so you can look me up on. I rode for Foundation Skateboards and
Oh.
independent trucks and vans and
Yeah.
One time I hung out with Mark Gator Rogalski after he killed his girlfriend and tried
Holy
to
shit,
tell me
yeah.
Jesus.
Dude, yeah.
I grew up with Ray Barbie. Was
Yep.
like my best friend in high school.
No
So
shit.
Ray Barbie and me skated everywhere. I was around with the Blind video getting made and stayed at
Yeah.
Mark Gonzalez's house.
No shit,
And
man. Awesome.
Well,
got
that's
a
the
D-
mecca.
got a
That's
D-
the mecca of where
got
this
a-
shit
got a-
came out of.
Yeah. Skateboarding was pretty much it for my whole life up until I even worked in for a while. I was I was sales manager for Tomieto, which is a Toy Machine, Zero skateboards,
shit.
and Foundation skateboards. And our drummer, that's how I met our drummer. He was the production manager for Toy Machine skateboards.
Oh, Dion?
And,
Dion was?
yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's how I met
No
him.
shit, man. Small world, man.
yeah.
Skateboarding brings a lot of people together.
Yeah.
I always sucked, man. I skated. Our friend Dave Mahan had a ramp, had a half pipe in his yard, and we skated pretty much mostly street and stuff a little bit, but
A lot of
we were-
splinters. A lot of
yeah,
splinters.
we were never really any good, but it was just something we did for years, just because it was so much.
You can start, like I was in a few good video parts. One from 1990, the Magic F. If you Google or YouTube Bobby Ferry, it'll come up.
No shit.
And that's we were definitely ahead of our time for sure.
That's awesome.
Wait a minute. So you said you
So
started
that-
when you were 4?
Yeah.
4.
I used to just my
Fucking-
dad.
That's crazy,
My
man.
dad would just leave me at the skate park as like
Yeah.
daycare.
Yeah.
and-
we
The
just
skateboard's
wait a minute.
bigger than you are.
Yeah,
and
wait a
you're just
minute.
like, man, fuck it.
Wait a minute. You got to say that again. So all of the millennials, nobody millennials will be listening to this, but say that again. You were left at the skate park as daycare because, and
Absolutely.
did you have a key around your neck? Were you a latchkey kid? Did you have,
Oh, probably.
yeah,
If we even locked the doors at all back then.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Orange County.
Right.
So
Or they
you
give you
skated-
the what is it? They give you the license plate, like my name is Bobby Ferry. I belong on bus
I belong
14.
here.
I live at 144 Long River View Road. In case of
No,
emergency, call my
I'm A
mom.
positive in case I bleed.
no,
I've already
I used to,
eaten
I used to
lunch.
just, I used to hang out at the skate park, and the older guys would, help you out.
Yeah.
Dwayne Peters, Steve Olson,
Dwayne. Oh, you fucking
Eric,
hang out with Dwayne
Eric
Peters?
Grisham.
Damn.
Eric Grisham. I was just like this tiny little kid, and they, would tighten your trucks for you and
Yeah.
give you pointers, and then
Dude,
when the
that's
skate parks
so fucking
closed,
cool.
I had a ramp and drain pools, and that was life.
Yeah, man.
Skateboarding was every single thing, and now I have destroyed ankles, and I limp around like an old guy. So
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but
So-
you got great memories though. I mean, that shit is, I think so
Oh,
many
it's priceless.
people are connected through skateboarding or BMX biking. I'm gonna get my fucking mongoose. Yeah, I got my mongoose. Check this out. I snapped my finger. Put some tape on it. I'm going back out.
I had a ramp when I was a kid, and we would have, like, seriously, the Bones Brigade would come over.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like,
That's fucking great.
You were right there.
Yeah. I mean, we had a couple. God, this guy was a crazy BMX guy from England. I don't think he ever went really big time, but in the 80s, he was way ahead of his time for skating vert or for riding vert. I don't know if Matt Hoffman ever came by, but we would go to Tony Hawk's house in Fallbrook, and God knows who would be there.
Right.
And we were just, I was like maybe 17 at the time.
Were
skating there.
you still skateboarding when you started the band?
Oh yeah,
You were.
for sure.
Was there?
In
Were
fact,
there?
that's how I knew all those guys. Chris rode for Black Label and
Okay.
Dogtown.
Yeah, Dogtown. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, Chris actually got a picture in Thrasher kickflipping between two roofs that was like 4 feet.
Nice.
But at the time, it was nuts, because if you fell, you fall off the roof.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Break your fucking
now kids can kickflip going backwards over 4 feet, with their eyes closed. But at the time, that's how I knew Chris. That's how I knew the drummer. That's how I met Pusshead, the artist, through skateboarding. So I knew him through the various team managers at other companies.
See,
so.
people don't know. I mean, some people might know, but this is the shit we're talking about. Like, this is amazing, because you did all this other stuff prior, and also had a very, and it's still a successful band, man. I mean, that's fucking great. Do people ever anybody ever go to the shows and be like, I fucking know you, man. Do you skate? Do you ever have any of that as being like after the show or anything like that?
People really know about skateboarding.
Like, is that fucking Bobby Ferry? That looks like Bobby. That's fucking not Bobby. Wait a minute, that is.
that used to happen a long time ago. But now I'm literally two of those humans. I'm two. I'm physically two.
Horizontally challenged.
Greg
is what we
is
call
too.
ourselves.
Hey, Greg's lost a lot of weight though.
Yeah, I've lost about 60 pounds, but it's.
How is that possible, Greg? Could you give me some
lose weight?
No, don't tell me it's eating less and exercise. I want to hear everything but that.
Eating less and exercise.
Tell you, that's what I do that's what I do.
What?
That I can give you I can save you thousands of dollars, right? Honestly, 100%.
Bill's never been fat before, though. That's the
No,
problem.
I've never
Bill's never been fat. So
no.
Go
You
ahead.
guys know Rick Kosick? Do you know who that is?
I know who he is. Yeah. I've heard. Yeah, that he does all the jackass stuff. Right?
Yeah, Rick Kosick was an old friend of mine, and like shot a bunch of photos skateboarding. He was a skateboard photographer. And he used to be really big. And then I ran into him a few years ago at a 16 show, maybe 5 years ago or something. And he lost a bunch of weight. And I was like, how'd you do it? And he's all, diet and exercise.
No, I'll tell you. You want to know? Do you want to know? I'll give you the secret right now. And anybody else that sees it. What's that? Lots of heroin. No.
Lots of drugs.
Oh,
No.
Cancer?
Cancer. No, I fucking had that. No, you don't want that.
You know what?
Trust me, you don't want that. No, this is what I tell all my students and everything. This simple thing: if it didn't grow from the earth or it wasn't alive at one time, don't put it in your body. That's it. So anytime you're getting ready to eat something, eat whatever the hell you want, eat as much as you want. But if it didn't grow from the earth or it wasn't alive at one time, don't eat it.
It's like a
That's the big
Cro-Magnon,
problem.
Cro-Magnon
Everybody eats
diet.
so much.
Yeah.
It's not
Processed
even
shit.
that.
Process.
It's just processed food is what's
Yep.
fucking killing us. Man. I could do
Sugar
a fucking
and
podcast
unbleached
on that.
flour and all that.
And I've
shit.
talked to John, John Joseph and people like John Joseph, not him personally, but people like him that are friends with him. And Greg is friends with John Joseph. And that's, I mean, he takes it to like the other level where he doesn't do anything with meat. But, excuse me, somebody like me, I eat meat. I don't eat a lot of red meat. I eat, it's like, more or less like fish and turkey, and some chicken. I like chicken, but if I could do without it, but my body can't, just because of my body type, my blood type. Like I could probably go vegan and vegetarian, but I would probably be miserable for a while. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm 50 years old. I don't want to be miserable. I've been miserable enough.
I like to eat out, like
You
a
can eat out all
lot.
you want. Eat out all you want. Just if it wasn't alive or it didn't grow from the earth, don't put it in your body. And the fucking pounds will fall off you. I had a girl, one of our female students. She lost in a little over 13 weeks. She lost almost 48 pounds. Yeah. And
That's
she
really
still
good.
ate.
That's a fighting weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Fuck
And
yeah,
she
dude.
lost 60 pounds before she got to us. But
Wow.
she lost a bunch of weight. And she just took that little advice. She goes, you know what, sir? Everything before I ate it or drank it, I thought about what you said. And she goes, and the weight just fell off. Like it was that easy. I said, that's all you got to do, man.
For me,
you don't
for me,
realize-
it was.
So no Girl Scout cookies? Is that out?
well, you got to have a
Oh,
cheat
you
day,
can
though.
have Girl
gotta have a
Scout
cheat-
cookies, but you got to do like what we do, where I don't buy the Girl Scout cookies. I go to you have the grocery store.
He
Aldi.
kills and eats the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, I
themselves.
I just abducted Girl
Are
Scout.
these made of real Girl Scouts? I do the Wednesday thing.
Real Girl
Do
Scout
you-
bits.
Do you go to Aldi's? You have Aldi's where you're at?
There's one about 15 miles away.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck that then. Well, they Aldi's is kind of like the cheap store with the good food that tastes like the food that you like. So instead of Thin Mints, they have like minty thins, or instead of Samoas, they have Mosaias, or you know what I mean. So but it's got less sugar in it, it's got less carbs, it's got less bullshit.
Do you drink alcohol at all? You drink you like beer, like good beer or anything, or not really?
Very rarely.
Yeah, if you don't drink, then that's half the battle, man. I mean,
That's
it really
how I
is.
lost it.
I know.
But
I
you can
don't,
have a
I'm
cheat
not
day.
drinker.
You got to have a cheat day. You got to have a day where you fucking, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday, whatever day you pick, you got to have a cheat day. You got to have that. I mean, I get it. And that's what I tell those guys. Have a day, but as the weeks and months progress, that cheat day will get, because you'll start seeing results and you're like, well, fuck, man, I don't want to fuck this up. I've lost 30 pounds. If I eat this, fuck, man, that might fuck it up. Then I'll gain that pound back, and they see results.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's like the cheat day is not taking an entire pizza and folding it over into one slice.
Yeah, because Greg, you were how much when you were at your heaviest, what were you up to?
Oh shit, I think I was up to 330.
Yeah, and you're 5'8", 5'9",
5'8", but I did.
How tall are you, Bobby? You taller? You're taller.
I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot 2. I'm 6 foot 258 as of this morning.
Yeah.
So I gotta get down to like I feel good at like 225.
Yeah,
I feel good.
Imagine how good you
That's
feel if you're like
easily
200.
doable.
For me,
doable.
it was three things for me. I moved to North Carolina because I was living in Connecticut, so I moved to North Carolina. It's been almost 3 years, and the heat, you eat less in the heat. I don't eat as much as I used to because of the heat. I drink a lot of water, and then I went from being in the entertainment business, working at a casino, becoming a mailman. So I'm constantly walking.
Oh, yeah.
So that helps, that always helps. And the other thing is I just limit what I eat now because, dude, okay. So what is your favorite bad food to eat, and how much do you eat of it at one time?
Oh, it's pizza, man. And
Pizza.
I don't know
I'm
when
with
the
you.
box is empty.
Yes.
When you run out of it.
And you pick, are you a cheese? You pick
like
the cheese
cocaine.
off the box, and you pick the pepperonis off the box. Dude, I used to lick the box clean. And it's like, but
Like
I found out.
I never felt drug.
Did you hear that?
Drug addiction
Yeah.
I never felt drug or like
Me
heroin
neither.
or cocaine addiction
No, but food.
until pizza called me at night, like the way cocaine used to call me. You know,
Bobby,
when
Bobby,
you have a little bit of cocaine left,
Bobby.
it'll call to you. It'll call to you to finish.
The
And it's
triangle.
Bobby,
like,
come finish me,
Bobby,
Bobby.
I,
Bobby.
yeah,
Everyone else is
it's
gonna
the
do me
way.
if you don't.
Exactly. You got to get to it.
It's you know why? It's because
Uh,
pizza tastes good whether it's cold or hot or fucking it does.
It's hard to fuck up pizza,
But
man.
I can't.
Even
But
fucking even like shitty.
I'm actually allergic to cheese, tomatoes, and beer. So I have cut all of that out of my diet. I know people look at me and go,
oh my
"Fucking, why
God.
don't you kill yourself now?"
How are you
This-
alive?
No, you substitute. So I just wash on chicken wings, man. That's the new thing.
I was gonna
With
say
hot sauce.
there's Alfredo sauce and you
Yep.
know
There you
No,
go.
no,
fucking
Hey,
no,
there's
no.
always an
I'm-
there's
no,
always an alternate.
Dude, Bobby,
evil.
lactose intolerant, allergic to
No dairy.
tomatoes, no dairy, and allergic to beer. Those three things. When I moved down here, I had allergies that were fucking crazy, and I was putting all this weight on, and I felt like shit, and I couldn't breathe. And I went to the doctors, and they did the test. They prick your back,
Yeah,
and they see.
the spread. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got it done.
and the fucking guy comes
Yeah.
in, and he goes, "So it's easier for me to tell you what you're not allergic to." And I go, "Really?" He goes, "Apparently you're allergic to 77 different things. Let's start at the top. So you're allergic to mold, trees, barley, oats, hops, cheese, tomatoes." And he's just going down the list of things, like fucking lemongrass, oranges. And I'm like, no wonder I feel like shit when I eat an orange. And he goes, no,
Your
that's
wife,
not-
your kids,
yeah.
your house, your dog.
Yeah, pop metal, baby metal. But no, it was just figuring
Shitty
out that
music.
I felt horrible, and I was like, I'm feeling horrible. Why am I feeling horrible? It's because what I was eating was making me feel like shit, dude. So I just cut all that shit out, all of it, and then I just drank a ton of like green tea or water just to, you know how it is, flush it out, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, tea is
Yeah.
green tea is
Yeah.
good. Real green tea.
Because you have
Fucking
kids.
amazing.
You have kids. You
I
said?
have a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's
how
he's
old?
under he's 18, but he's underweight. So we're trying, and he eats a lot.
That
So we're trying to
bastard.
like just. I know.
Bastard. My
Yeah.
kid's the same
So
way. 17. He's like
the
this big.
doctor. Yeah, the doctor's like, put mayo on it, feed him double.
Oh,
He wants this, he wants that.
oh, it's
then,
so good. Oh, the mayo is just.
So
Ugh.
we buy in bulk. We buy in bulk for him, and then I smoke weed, and that's my vice.
Hey, nothing wrong. with
Nothing
that.
wrong with smoking weed. Comes from the ground, right, Bill?
That's right. That's right. Hey, it came from the earth.
Yep.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
there's, I'm all for anything like organic like that. Anything, man, to help you. Like, we'll talk. I mean, if you want to talk about anything like after, or if you want to hit me up for ideas, I can even put you in contact with some people that give you like ideas for eating and stuff like that. They're not going to charge you or anything like that, man, but they can get you on just a basic path. I mean, but it's really simple, man. Like
I feel like I have all the knowledge. I've gotten myself into ketosis. I lose a little bit of weight.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like I have my mom was a crazy California hippie. So we were vegan way before it was cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or going to health food shows, going to this mother's market, and
Yeah.
Granola,
eating,
baby. Granola.
pleading, and I think there's a portion. Is this turning into an Overeaters Anonymous? There's just a portion.
Hi, my
a
name is
portion-
Greg, and I like trans fats.
Yeah, exactly. A portion.
But Greg's always been a bigger kid, man. But he did,
Yeah.
and that's how we kind of met. Like, and I became friends with Greg.
High school.
I mean, we grew up together in high school, and then, some people were kind of fucking with him, and I don't fucking like bullies. I've never liked bullies. I've never been a bully, but I've been the guy that I'll fucking punch a bully in the mouth. I don't care how big you are or whatever. I've always been like that. Like, there's no reason to pick on people for whatever reason you think there is.
Right.
I am like, I don't like that, man. Like, just go fuck with somebody else. But yeah, Greg, and I remember a couple
I,
different things.
I appreciate violence under those circumstances. I really do.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it's controlled and necessary. Yeah.
Regardless of what it was, I don't like anybody fucking with anybody. And I just remember the one party you brought this up a while ago. We started talking about it and we got sidetracked. Greg showed there's a big keg party, and I'm a senior at that point, and I was getting ready. I was training real hard. I was supposed to go in the Marine Corps right after high school, so I was on point. I was ready I was ready for the Marine Corps, and we were at a party, and Greg showed up with a couple of his buddies. Greg's a couple. Well, when I was a senior, what were you?
I was
a junior. You were a freshman. When I was a junior, you were
you
a
were a
freshman.
junior,
So
and I was
2
a
years.
freshman. Yep.
Yeah, so you're 2 years
2
behind
years.
me. So our senior year, guys we go to a party, and Greg shows up with some of his friends, and I forget what it was. There was a girl there that liked you, or you talked to somebody, you bumped something. What happened?
There's a girl there that was her and I were talking or whatever, and I think the guy came over, or he was friends with her and kind of like bumped into me, like, oh, fucking, the typical, hey, he's a lower classman, I'll make him look like a dick in front of this girl so I can go home and jerk off in the corner by myself, whatever the fuck it was. Anyway, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but yeah. So we'll cut back to Bill. Bill saw this guy like started to get in my face and fucking sophomore, respect my authority. And what'd you do, Bill?
I just went over and grabbed him by the back of the neck and dragged him outside and beat the shit out of him and two of his buddies while everybody watched. I said, all right, you want to pick on him? You're going to pick on me. I got no problem with you. I said, no, you do.
And the guy literally
you got a problem with that kid.
The look on the guy's face was like it was like someone yanked him off the stage like the Gong Show. Bill just grabbed a hold of him, pulled him outside, like, we're gonna go out here now, and you're gonna learn not to fuck with people. So because I
told him that. I said you're gonna get fucked up. As soon as we get out this door, I'm fucking you up. And then his two buddies came. I said, I'm gonna fuck them up too. Anybody else that comes out the door, you can keep coming because I've got friends here too. And they like Greg.
Oh, and Bill's friends were twice the size of us. And they were the type of guys who they would show up with like their own glass stein, like like no fucking paper cup for me, stein. And I watched one guy one time at a party. These guys showed up at the keg party to take the keg, and they put the hand on the keg, and he took his glass stein and he just bashed the guy in the head with it and split his head open like a cartoon character with like Tweety birds and shit. And the guy just went poof, like that, and everybody just scattered. This is the crazy
shit. These are guys that they weren't jocks. Like I hung out, I had some friends that were jocks, a lot of guys that played hockey with.
They were meatballs,
but they were just fucking, I had friends that were metalheads, friends that were like, the weed heads, or friends that were, I didn't care, man. I was friends with you. If we were cool, we were friends. That was it. That's all I cared about. You were a cool kid. I'm cool.
Back in the, I think we're basically the same age. I'm 48, but
yeah, I'm 50. So
I think there was just more violence back then.
There was. I think there was.
Or maybe we're not in the streets now, out in it. We're not young people, but I grew up in LA and Southern California before the LA riots, so this is very super violent. Like we get jumped all the time. Like one summer I got jumped by Nazi skinheads and by gang members. And my stepbrother was like, man, nobody likes you guys. Fucking nobody likes you guys.
And what nationality are you? Are you part Spanish, or are you just white kid?
I'm a tan old guy now, but I was a white kid. I used to have blonde hair, if you can believe it.
You're an easy target.
I've heard. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine.
Yeah, we'll fuck with that guy because he can't fight.
I would get sucker punched everywhere, by gang members come up to you, ask you what you claim, get punched in the face. I had been in like not hundreds, but definitely a lot of
the
violence,
tens of tens.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, like there's some good street justice too, like where you get jumped and then you just beat the fuck out of all of them.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So that, that definitely happened too. I mean, one time we were gonna get mugged. Some guy was like, how much, trying to steal money off you, and we just fucking tortured the dude with a stun gun. just what he was like when he was like screaming, you're like, I don't have any money. We're all fuck you.
Fuck you, but you wanted to hurt us and take our money, you piece of shit.
Yeah. See that he had a wife beater on. I remember I was pressing the stun gun against him. You saw the lightning bolts under his skin.
Oh,
nice.
That's like some DC comic book shit. Wow.
I feel like we should cue Street Justice from fucking
Street
Twisted
Justice.
Sister right now.
Oh, I was gonna go Chromax. Street Justice
or Chromax too. Yeah. Twisted
but
Sister.
And in retrospect, though, it was all about being a dumb kid and not leaving. Because now when I'm in any situation anywhere over the world, you can smell stuff and you're just like, I'm out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even if like you're high, even if like you're stoned or something, you're like, shit's about ready to go down.
I'm walking down the street in Marseille, France, and like, 3 dudes in sweatsuits are staring at me and following me. It's like, I'm gonna dip into the hotel. I'm not gonna like step up to anyone.
Yeah,
I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing shit. I'm just gonna avoid
too much
it
to lose.
all. Yeah. But then I guess you just, fucking. Then I guess you would almost wait for stuff to happen, because maybe you're a game for the violence. I don't know.
Well, the other thing too was the type
Sometimes
of
you like
music
to
that
test
we were
yourself.
into. I mean, we used to go to shows. We go to Boston, Providence, Hartford, New York, and shit would
all big fight scenes.
every
well, they had the fuck shit up guys.
Different
the
BU, Boston
gang,
was
right?
no
that
shit.
Was like a real gang.
Oh fuck
Yes,
yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, the FSC.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. I got stories about them, but we won't talk about
fucking
that.
dudes didn't play. They were like, we knew we were friends with a bunch of those guys, man. But whenever Biohazard played, especially remember that show we went to in Providence when I was still in the Marine Corps?
Yeah, we went to.
I came back.
Was the Lupos one?
Guys, what's that?
Was it the Lupos one or was it?
Yeah. It was. I remember Stomp Box, and Biohazard.
Yeah. They beat the shit out of everybody. They literally they would stand in the back of the pit, and when some kid would start throwing, haymakers, they would go
hitting people or hit a
snap
girl
their
or something.
Snap their fingers and point to them, and like 3 guys would just like just like the movie Critters, just on them, and then gone.
I never saw that. I still don't understand it, so I just dated myself. But I don't understand hardcore dancing. I don't understand, and sometimes it happens when we play.
Yeah.
But like that whole just swing, just dislocate your shoulders and the karate kicks.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with the athleticism of it. However, it's just like when you're playing, everyone scatters, and then there's this giant ocean of emptiness, and like 5 dudes doing the floor punch dance,
right?
Or one female, right. Or one girl.
But the worst part is there's a compilation out there of, I forget what it's called, but I think it's called like when it connects is the name of it, and they show when those people are doing that, and some guys like
just runs into it
and just like straight up haymaker to the face. It is, I mean, I've gotten hit a lot in the pit, a lot. Boots to the back of the skull, kick to the shin. Cool. Yeah, boot to the cool. I got knocked out one time down in down at the Anthrax in fucking like 10 minutes from New York, but right over the border, okay, in Norwalk, Connecticut. And I came to, and I'm in the bathroom, and I was high school. It was high school time. I was playing football, and I had shaved my head because I got last pick of the helmets, and I could either have a helmet that was too small and squish my head, or a big helmet and fill it with paper. And coach said, "Really, might as well shave your head."
Both are super dangerous. That's so horrible.
So I shaved my head.
Hence I give you Greg.
But I wake.
That's what happens.
I dive off the stage, and I hit my head, and then I get up, and then someone haymakers me, and I wake up in the bathroom with like 7 skinheads standing over me going, "Brother, you're okay, brother. Brother, you're okay." And I was like, no clue where I am. No idea who I'm with. I'm like, where the fuck am I?
Guys.
I'm like, bro, and they're helping me up, and and then I turn and I look in the mirror, and I'm like, split like from here to here. Okay. And it's just blood pouring down my face. And I'm looking at it going, did one of these guys fucking do this to me? Like, you don't know what the hell happened. And then they're like, oh,
Yeah.
brother, you got killed. You got hit by that dude, but we took care of him. And I was like fucking took care of him? Like, that's some scary shit for a 16-year-old, you know? I mean, what the fuck?
You're like, they use that term brother way too loosely. With,
Oh, yeah, man.
I got to shake
my cousin Randy, who was in Cable, who's in Come to Grief, was at that show with me and was trying to find me. And when I finally came to, I came out and I had all this paper towel on my head, like holding my head like this. And there's like 7 or 8 skinheads leading me through the back of the crowd. And my cousin's like, nah, he's good. Like, he's fine. He'll be okay. We'll catch up with him after.
Put a paper towel on it. Let's go.
He made some friends. He's okay.
Suck it up. So, all right. So you go from skateboarding into 16's fucking doing well.
No, I never did well.
Well,
it's doing.
You had fucking fans. You got the people that I know that know you guys.
Love you guys.
Fucking love you guys. Like, you know, I don't, hundreds or thousands of. It's probably, I'm sure. It's
I would say we don't have we don't have a fan base. We've just narrowed them down. So we've narrowed the base to the fanatics.
It's been filled.
So
fanatics.
We may not have a giant fan base. However, each one will give you $200 for merch and show you the tattoos. They'll be like, dude, I got this tattooed on me.
Yeah.
So I feel really lucky about that.
I mean, they're fucking real, man. People are real. Yeah. But what, like the name, like did the name just kind of pop out? Like, you know what? Fuck it, let's just call it 16. Or is there something behind that?
Literally the dumbest story ever. So we make a demo, and we were hanging around skateboarders at the time. Mark Gonzalez, who was the famous skateboarder. Yep. I was hanging around him a lot, and he on his grip tape he wrote Team 15, and then we're like, oh, we're just going to be 15. That's cool, because Mark writes Team 15 on his boards, and so we're like, yeah, we're just going to be 15. So we make this demo. We make a 7-inch. We photocopy. I worked at a pharmacy as a delivery guy. I'd photocopy the 7-inch things, and it says 15 all spelled out. And then we bring it to Vinyl Solution in Huntington Beach, and I think his name is Igby. I'm not sure the guy's name. He still owns it. And he's like, and he listens to it, and he's like, yeah, this is cool, but you guys know there's a band called 15 from Berkeley. And we're like, I guess we're 16. And then we went home.
Fuck them at 16 now. Fucking 15.
And covered up the centerpiece so that we got more labels made at Kinko's.
Wow.
And then photocopied some fucking some things, and we're like, all right, we're 16 now. And then we went back and he bought all the 7-inches from us, and so we're just like, we're 16. And that's literally the whole story. Everyone's like,
that's
such a cool number because of numerology and 16 and witchcraft. And I'm like, yeah,
cool. Totally. And
that's it.
We put the parenthesis around it, and
that has nothing to do.
It's almost like from the beginning, you guys were just
happenstance,
born to, I don't know, okay, well, 15, we're 16, okay.
I still operate that way too. Today, I love happy accidents in the creative process and in recording. I just did vocals today, and I tried some weird chorus. One didn't work out, but one really did work out. So I'm
Bob Rossed it.
Yeah, I'm all about those happy accidents, and that's how.
Hey, don't you have a song called "Her Little Accident"?
Yeah.
And there's a video.
I think.
Is there a video?
Yeah, there's been a shooting here, a suicide or something like that.
He hangs. That's kind of a tragic story. The song is fantasy. The song was but
the audio is real.
No, the guy who made the video was our friend Tyson. He was a super nice guy and an amazing filmmaker, and he just had the idea to make this video just like it is. He did that whole thing for free for us.
Really?
You know,
It's a cool
like
video.
he was
It's
just
deep.
he was a super 16 fan, and you know, he was one of our friends from wherever, well, you know, for forever. And but unfortunately Tyson had some problems and he's no longer with us. So right after that video, he passed away because of, you know, it wasn't any one thing, but he was a heavy drinker and a heavy pill user and a heavy heroin addict. And he didn't overdose, but he had an ulcer and he bled to death, you know, in his 30s.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Everything just caught up.
You know, yeah,
Great video.
yeah,
Great.
you know,
He fucking nailed it, man. Like that's.
You live by the sword, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that happens, you know.
It's like Bukowski,
go.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
So you go, you guys get with Relapse. Relapse releases all this stuff. Lifespan of a Moth, is that was all new stuff too, right? There was nothing.
Yeah, well, same with Bridges to Burn.
Yeah, those.
So
are
we
all
get
new.
we get with Relapse, and they're like, we want to put out your old records, and then we couldn't get licensing through this
fucking
Theologian
sucks.
Records.
That is-
Well, we eventually did. They just
Good.
signed it over for free. I like talked to the guy on the phone. He was way cool. I'm like, look, man, I don't have 10 grand, and it's not worth 10 grand. So.
Yeah.
and it's my shit.
and it's not in print, and you're not in business, and it's, you know, realistically it's going to sell 500 copies on vinyl, and that's amazing, but it's more of the fact that just having it out there.
Right.
So relapse was able to license all that for, like, you know, free.
Curves
but
the Kick and all that other stuff.
so Curves the Kick, Dropout, and then a singles collection were released in 2007 or 8 when we signed to Relapse, or maybe it was 2009, I don't know. But we made a Bridges to Burn, and I think that's a good record.
That's fucking great.
Know.
We were listening to that right before you came on.
Yeah.
Cranking a couple songs from that. Like I said, man, I'm a big fan. Like, that was the thing Greg and I talked about, having anybody on the show, anybody we talk to, like, I want people that I'm fans, that I'm a fan of. I don't give a fuck, you know, about, okay, 1 million people love them or 5 people love them. The fact that they're, you know, you guys are out there, you're doing something that's real and something that's helped me through a lot of shit, man. I mean, like, a lot of shit through the years, like a lot. And Greg will tell you this, like, music for me, and like people that have made music that's really helped me, I'll tell you straight up, like, it's been phenomenal to have that. And that you guys are definitely one of those bands. Like, I've had, actually, the guitar I got back there has a fucking 16 sticker on the back of it. It's a fucking BC Rich. But you know, and that's what we talked about with the show. Like, I want real people. I want people that we like, that we listen to. I don't want to talk to people. We're not going to, and I don't even want to call it interviewing. It's talking, man. That's why we call it the heavy happy hour. Like, if we're drinking, we're not, like, you know, I'm just drinking a little Jack and Coke tonight or whatever, but
I'm the heavy part of it.
He's the heavy D and the boys there. So,
yep.
But that was the thing, is just having it to where we talk and we just talk about shit and make it more real. It's not to where I'm interviewing, because, like, sometimes I don't want it to be like, and I see interviews, it's like it's almost like an interrogation. And Greg and I just talked about this the other day when we were talking about all this, with the new stuff that we're going to be doing with people that we have booked coming on. I'm like, I don't want them to ever feel uncomfortable. You know, like, I always want whoever we're interviewing to feel comfortable. Like, yeah, man, like, fucking good. Like, we can talk. We talked about this shit. I haven't talked about that in 10 years. You know, stuff like that. That's what's important, is to make you feel comfortable. So you talk about stuff and we learn stuff and you're comfortable telling stuff. And it's not like, so tell me about what settings did you have your amplifier on? So how did you really come up with the riff?
Are you a tube? Are you a
So,
tube man or a non-tube
yes,
man?
I love equipment, but you know, like, hey, I love equipment and we can get
What
people
size
on, but
gauge strings do you prefer?
you probably get fucking
you're,
bored hearing a lot of that shit. And I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe you.
Oh no, you know what? I don't, like I said, it's not like we're this huge band that people are after me to interview. So let's just be real there.
But it's getting there. It's getting there. I'm telling you.
Anything. I'll be happily surprised when it is. But you know, like I do the normal press when we release a record, and you do a lot of interviews, and I don't got a problem with it because it's you know, print works with selling records, and I'm happy to be invited to the party at this
Exactly.
stage.
Exactly.
You know, so like I have a like base level gratitude that I make music, and for the first for the I mean, no one gives a shit, so I'm making it like, and I'm not going to stop. I'm making it just what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And you get to that spot, and it's damn near magical, because then you make this stuff come out of it's like voodoo. You know, you're creating something from nothing. And it just started with some stupid idea. You know, like the song Sadland started with that weird riff, started with another theme vocally, started with another, you know, and then it worked out to be an awesome song. And then
It's
like,
fucking
you know,
powerful, man. Powerful.
hopefully I have 13 more, you know, that are in the
Or
works.
16. Oh,
No, you know what?
Oh,
I'm the thing
50.
that you can't. I'm not a double album. I'm not a huge intro. Like so many sludge bands bum me out with 10-minute songs.
yeah. You're like, fuck, come on, let's go. You hit
I
the
just like,
pinnacle on the
Just
riff.
give it to me for
5
all
minutes
you,
ago. You hit the
just give
you
it
hit
to
the
me
money
for
shot.
crying out loud.
You
Yeah.
hit the money shot
just
5 minutes
Come
ago.
on,
Let's go.
enough over the
Yeah.
pants stuff. Let's get
Yeah.
to it.
yeah, just you know, what is it? Don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I try to up front be like that. Like if we have a song that's 5 or 6 minutes, it's because we've shrunk it to that. Like you know, the only one who gets my attention is like Neurosis or Yob.
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
can do 10, you can do 10 minutes, and I'll
anything
buy
neurosis,
along.
anything
Anything
neurosis.
I'll
Neurosis
buy
and Yob
I'll
too.
buy
Yob is a
along.
Yeah,
great band.
yeah. For
But
me,
so many things are great. I
talented.
just don't have the patience.
right,
I don't have 10 minutes to get to the good riff.
right.
You know, and I like a bunch of straightforward shit too. I mean, come on, fucking, you know, AC/DC. What is it? AC/DC, you know, how's it feel to write the same album for, you know, 30 years? And then he says, no,
Amazing,
I've been
because
trying
it
to write,
sounds great.
I've been trying to write the same song, is what Bon Scott said, for
Right.
30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm kind of with that. I'm definitely with that.
Are you I gotta ask this because you brought it up. Are you a Bon Scott fan, a Brian Johnson fan, or the whole enchilada?
Whole enchilada, man.
Yeah.
There's so many good. I mean, I have the encyclopedia of AC/DC. I have, you know, I got one of these.
Oh, fuck
You
yeah.
know,
Oh, nice.
I got the, you know, I'm a true believer.
You got the Jack,
with
baby.
AC/DC.
You got the Jack.
Yeah,
It's for me, it's Angus. It's when people bring up
Well,
Bon Scott and Brian, I say I'm an Angus fan. I'm an Angus fan.
Yeah.
Whatever Angus writes, I'm a fan.
Yeah, you know, I like for those about to rock. That's like a really. I mean, I remember buying that in like the 3rd grade, and I might still have it. And that's just like, that's the blueprint. That inject the venom.
Was that
fucking great?
Was that how you first got into AC/DC? Was
that
that album?
That album?
Was that
I
album?
got it as a gift in like the 3rd grade. Yeah.
Oh.
And then now, you know, now that I'm older, I've gone through everything, and of course, like, you know, Jailbreak and Highway to Hell. I mean, that's fucking, you can't fuck with any of
what
it.
is it? Jailbreak 78 or 73 or
74?
77.
77? I thought it was 74.
Yeah.
No,
If
74.
Live EP or whatever. Oh.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening
Baby,
to this,
please don't go. Baby, please don't go.
That video,
badass.
that video is great. It's like,
Jailbreak.
Oh, when they get shot. It's like the Tom Savini.
Great. I'm like, yes. Look at this shit.
Yeah,
Fucking
killing
Bon
him.
Scott. Look at that.
Bon Scott was the greatest frontman of just like sleazy. You could see his dick in his pants. Just, you know,
cock and ball pants.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody said it.
Him and Robert Plant.
If Robert,
I call him cock pants.
You
they had the cock jeans. Everything was smashed over into one side.
Robert Plant's vest is like this big in the movie.
Yeah,
you know,
Roth too. Roth had the spandex with this shit all smashed into one corner. I'm like, and we were like, oh my god, I can see the
androgynous. It's terrible. Play Panama. No.
Nobody griped. Nobody said dudes never said shit, and the women loved it. Right.
Yeah.
So hey.
Every guy wanted to be them, and every woman wanted to be with them.
Yeah. Nowadays, people are like, I saw his penis through his pants. So you can't wear that. And,
Well, it's funny though. Like we say that that'll never, there'll never be another Metallica, and people say that, but then you're like, well, we're just not going to notice it because like doesn't that like my neighbor's daughter likes that K-pop shit, and then you look at the numbers of K-pop, like, they get like K-pop gets 1 billion streams in a week.
I know.
1 billion.
Yeah, I know.
And so it's like, well, there's your Metallica right there. It's just not our thing.
Yeah.
But will it last? Is it like Iron Maiden, like lasting power?
But does it matter if Metallica collectively together sold 60 million albums?
Right.
Let's just say 60 million. Well, these K-pop people have already sold 300 million. So does it matter if it lasts?
But is it cool?
Well,
it
doesn't matter. Well, there's like a different level of consumption. I think they've changed the big game.
Back, Greg.
Where they rewrote the rules. They rewrote the rules.
So I work with this lady at the post office who's a regular carrier, and her daughter is graduating, and the moms decided to throw a prom. They're calling it a mom prom because of the COVID thing. The school's not doing proms. So the mothers are getting together to get all these kids and their dates, place to. So I told them, listen, I said, I was a wedding DJ and videographer for 20 years. Even though I'm a metalhead, I know music. I'll DJ your prom for free. All you got to do is tell your buddy to bring the sound system, and I'll bring my laptop and I'll get everything set up and I'll play it. And they're like, okay. And I said, but do me a favor, reach out to the kids, send them an email and tell me what songs they want to hear, because that's one thing I'm not up on is, what these kids have been listening to for the last 4 years. I don't fucking know. I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen. Well, apparently I know nothing about music because I have 4 hours of music and I probably know about 2% of it. And it is the most insane, hardcore, filthy rap I have ever heard in my entire life.
I came in the middle of filthy rap.
So Bill, I was telling Bobby that next Sunday night, I'm DJing a prom for these kids. I work with their mother, and the moms are putting on a prom for the kids because they can't have a prom because of COVID. So they're having it at this whatever. And they sent me all this music. And so I had to go through on my music provider and look for the clean versions of these.
Don't exist, do they?
They're not. No, they exist, but it's like listening to, you can't understand it because it's like, there's this, I'm pretty sure your 18-year-old probably doesn't listen to like hardcore rap, does he? Or maybe he does.
Oh, yes, he does.
He does.
Don't they all?
But does he listen to like Cardi B and stuff like that, and Young Gravy and all that stuff? And
he's like a little not cooler, but he likes like underground hip hop and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which I guess has a different cachet to it.
Yes,
however,
it does.
It's still about blowjobs.
I work
with younger people, and I remember the last Christmas party, there was an email going around with the songs that these like 25-year-olds want to hear, and I was like,
what the fuck?
That song's just about fucking.
Yeah.
The song's just about fucking.
Literally, that's the title.
Every song is about fucking.
Or bad bitches, or banged your mother, and it's like.
We're just aging ourselves by even talking about it.
Yeah, but I remember
those youngsters.
Let's veer right back down to the urban discipline, okay? Okay, guys. Bring it back.
Or I'll tell you what, if you want to go hardcore, okay, there's a couple bands you need to know of. You need to know of NWA. You need to have that record. You need to know who Eazy-E was. You need to know who Dr. Dre was. You need to know who Public Enemy was. You need to know, what I mean? Like
Ice-T, Iceberg.
That's
what you need. That's what you need.
I'll even fuck with the Black Album by Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dirt Off Your Shoulders. I think anything that Timbaland produces, the Missy Elliott stuff is great. Yeah. And that shit is like listening. And so I'll play that kind of hip hop. I like a Souls of Mischief, some of that weirder stuff in the 90s. But of course, NWA and all that stuff, and that's like classic rock to my kid and his friends. Like not cool.
Or as
if you play
old man music,
if you play 2 Live Crew for someone nowadays, they'll be like,
what is this? I know. Yeah, it's well, for one, it sounds like a Casio keyboard. I don't think their production was stood the test of time.
Production was
dude. But NWA Straight Outta Compton stands up to this day.
I know every song,
Yeah,
every lyric, every song.
Yep.
Whenever it pops on, you're now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Exactly. Yes, you are. And when that movie, how excited were you when that movie came out? When that movie came out and they knocked it out of the park.
I love when they so during the LA riots, I was like senior year of high school, I think, and they interviewed Eazy-E, and he's just all, I don't know how this is happening. I wish somebody would have told y'all about it.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a building on fire behind him.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck.
Nope.
Hence, he's the first one that dies. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, man. All of them, you know.
But I mean, it's the like you get back to saying, will there ever be another Metallica or another Iron Maiden? I agree. We won't see it. I won't be alive to see it. A matter of fact, the only band that I really probably listen to that has had longevity, but it's because I love them and it's the genre I like, is Clutch. I think Clutch is one of those bands that has started really, really heavy and then progressed along the years. And every time they put an album out, I'm like, I love that album. I'm going to buy that album. Oh, I love that album. I'm going to buy that album. But I can't name another band in the last 10 years that has had longevity like them. I mean, you could probably say Foo Fighters, but I don't really listen to the Foo Fighters anymore. So
Slayer.
Well, Slayer, obviously, but they're done.
You know what, people would complain about Slayer like having crappy output. I don't think so. I think it was all pretty good.
I like it all. There's songs that are better than others, but
exactly. But I'm still happy to have it, and I'm happy to buy it. And same thing with Testament. Testament puts out new shit, and I'm on board.
That last Titans album was amazing. The last album they put out, the Titans album, was brilliant, just brilliant. You know, amazing, just guitar. Chuck Billy's voice, it sounds better than ever. I mean, they rip. They fucking rip.
I really like Low with John Tempesta.
I love that album.
There you go.
Dude, John Tempesta's
you and Bill can talk. I'll leave.
I love that guy.
Let me leave this for a minute here. Hold on.
So I don't have my thing fired up, but I am such a huge fan of John Tempesta. When he played with Helmet, I saw him. When he played with White Zombie, I saw him. He plays with the Cult now. I saw him.
I saw him with the Cult and talked to him after one of the Cult shows. Super cool guy.
I'll stalk him. And then I buy, if you know what Easy Drummer is, Superior Drummer. John Tempesta has like the Metal Masters pick. So I've written a bunch of 16 songs in the past 5 years to John Tempesta's playing. That I write the song, I use John Tempesta, and then I send it to the drummer Dion, and then he rewrites it as not stealing from John Tempesta, basically, because everyone, for one thing, everyone would know. For two, it's just it's where my ideas come from, and then I'll send him a click track. But I have just something about John Tempesta, man. That guy's so
phenomenal
good.
drummer, cool guy, really cool
Super
guy.
cool.
Very what I like about him, and I've always loved, I mean, from like Low, like that whole album is fucking, actually, even this when he played with Exodus, a fucking Exodus album he played on, Force of Habit. He played on Force of Habit. You know
I
that?
didn't know that. No,
Yeah.
I gotta listen to that. I gotta do my John Tempesta work. He was super good on I mean, you don't hear it live, you don't hear it on the album, but live I saw White Zombie a bunch, and White Zombie, when they got him to the Astro Creep, he made the band live, like John Tempesta, like he made them crush.
And then solo Rob Zombie, seeing him play, he's always been a savage behind the drums. But if you listen to Force of Habit, I got Force of Habit, and I was like, oh, fucking, yeah, this is fucking amazing. And then I followed him.
You got those dudes can do no wrong.
No. Yeah. And then from Testament, he got picked up to White Zombie. White Zombie, he left Testament like, hey, man, by the way, I'm going to Testament's had this issue with fucking drummers leaving to go to other bands. Like he left right before Lowe started touring to join White Zombie. And then years later, when Testament released
The Dark Roots or
no, way before that.
before that.
Fuck's the name of it? Gene Hoglan played on it. And Gene Hoglan left him to go play with Strapping Young Lad. Left Testament to go play with Strapping.
Oh,
Young
no
Lad.
shit.
And then I
So
think
Gene Hoglan lives right around here where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And I see him at the grocery store, this place called Sprouts. And he's a very tall guy.
Yeah.
And he usually walks the cane.
Yeah.
And maybe like years ago I saw him at a club until I got my picture taken with him and nerded out on him. Now I just want to leave the poor guy alone when I see him, but I'm always like telling my wife, I'm like, there he is. That's the drummer for Death Clock. Yeah, that's
Go tackle him, put him in the car.
Let me buy him a cup of coffee and I can pick his brain.
Yeah. And then he also, so it's like I see him there at the grocery store occasionally. I don't know if he's still around here. And then I used to see him at he practices a building over from our practice space.
Oh,
so
really?
We'd have Gene Hoglan sightings.
Yeah, there he is.
I just saw him.
Dude,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Apparently, Rob Halford lives in Hillcrest, a neighborhood in San Diego, and everybody but me has seen him. Everybody's like, yeah,
no shit.
I just went to Indian food and Rob Halford was there. I went to Subway, Rob Halford was there, and I've never seen him, and I've lived here for 20 years.
We're getting ready to do interview JJ, the bass player from Fight. From Rob, he played. Yeah, we're getting ready to interview him pretty soon too. And
Fight was a killer album too.
Fucking great.
Both of those.
Both albums were
both albums. And live.
I gotta listen to those.
Live where they were
I
amazing.
never
live.
saw him live.
It was one of those things.
I saw him live once.
See him, and it was like, holy fuck, Rob Halford is in another band, and you're in awe. But then the band
you're in this little
itself,
ass club, and that's
the
Rob
band
Halford.
itself is amazing. Like he had just
Tight.
incredible tight. And you go back and you listen to the music, like this shit was awesome at the time. Why wasn't it more? I always expected it to be more like more and more popular. Yeah, it was on MTV and shit, and they toured a little bit, but it was over. It was like two and done.
I think a lot of things it goes up and then it dips down, and then if they just waited for a return, they would have kept going, but they just broke up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, imagine if Clutch would have broken up after the Elephant Riders.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, but 10 years later came back. You know, they would have missed their whole momentum.
Oh God, yeah, Pure Rock, no Pure Rock.
Because they were like
no fucking,
and then they went up.
Strange Cousins from the West.
But they weren't huge, you know, but they were still working, but they were becoming something else over a decade.
Right.
And I think those bands that just do 1 to 2 records, they get out, you know.
They don't come. It seems like they
stuck it out.
They don't come into their own.
Yeah.
It's almost like you got the first release, the sophomore release, and then, come on, man, keep it going, keep the momentum.
Well, I think they lose their support.
For the music business, the music business back then, especially, you had to have support from them to work. You know, they probably just didn't get offered another record because it didn't go gold.
Right.
But if they had their own money and they were in control of everything, like the way Clutch, it doesn't matter what label Clutch is on, doesn't matter.
No,
you know?
Well, they're on their own now. Weathermark, they're on their. They do their own shit. They're like, we're putting this record.
And I try to do that. I try to do that as well. Like I'm not waiting for anyone to tell me to make something. I'm making the album.
Right.
You're either on board or you're not. Like I'm choosing the cover. I'm writing the songs and doing all this, and hopefully it'll all work out.
Well, that's one thing that I do like. I really like about. Oh, sure.
There we go.
That's one thing I really do like about 16 is that, and I'm going to compare you a little bit to Clutch, is the music also mimics and the art mimics itself with all of your great, whether it's the music videos, the visuals, or the art, the print, the covers, the what do you call it? The photo sheets inside, lyric pages, everything's got this really cool look to it. Like you have taken the effort to really put a lot of work and a lot of yourself into it.
I'd like to say that is conscious, but it's not. And it's all of that is delegating to people who care and are good.
And get it.
I leave you alone.
Yeah.
And I leave you alone. Like the all of our art. I don't have any feedback on our art. None.
So
Whatever it is, it's
what
fine.
was the Dream Squasher then? Where did the art come from?
So Marald, he's a well-known guy in Europe. He did Caveller Talk. He's done
Yep.
Baroness. He's done Mastodon. He's done all this shit.
Baroness,
we
yeah,
were
it looks very
playing-
similar to
yeah.
Baroness.
Yeah, he did
that's a
Baroness
lot of
as the
Basley
inside
stuff.
of one of their records. So I met him. We played at a festival called the Bloodshed Festival
Mhm.
with
I
that
remember
band.
hearing about that.
Yeah, with a Tragedy and a bunch of other great bands. And he just came to our merch booth afterwards and was like, "I'm gonna do the album artwork for your new album." And I
Okay.
was like,
For free?
and I was like, no, but he's
No.
like, "I want to do it. You're one of my favorite bands." But I'm sure he gave us the bro deal. But at that point, I was like, he gave me his card and I checked out his other work and I'm like, all right, you're the guy. That's it. You're the guy. And then his concept, I let him hear like 3 songs. And then he wrote me like a 2-page summary of what he thought it symbolized with the
Wow.
lyrics and the music.
Was he
And
close?
then I was like, no, well, you know what is, I'll be completely honest. I don't have a vision.
Yeah.
I know it's just like,
So
I mean, I might have it. Exactly. And so like it all kind of magically happened when he showed me the sketch of the cordyceps mushrooms eating, no matter what happens, nature's going to take its course. You're just going to rot,
Right.
no matter what's going to happen. And that's how he kind of saw perseverance in us. That was his concept of, imagine part of your sound as the mushrooms that are going to just morph over. And I was like, cool concept. I don't have,
Go with it.
I have nothing.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
Nailed
yeah.
it.
And
Okay.
then and the same thing with the Bridges to Burn. He turned it in a day before it was due, and I saw it and I said, good job. Because this is somebody who this is their living. Like I'm not an artist. I'm a
Right.
guy who plays guitar and writes songs.
That was
So I
Florian,
really
right?
wanna-
Florian did the Bridges. to Burn.
Yeah. So I really want to delegate. I want to delegate to good people to do things that, that almost, it's, I hate to say it cheating, but the concept comes later. Like
Yeah.
the concept is for the finished product, because I'm not going to get too stuck on a rigid path. Like I said, with Happy Accidents, we're going to, we have my idea, and my idea is just the sum of my influences. And then I bring in other, like I never tell a drummer what to play ever, usually. And if I don't like what you're playing, we're going to keep playing it until we know each other good enough that you're not going to like it either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like
It's gonna eventually it's gonna morph itself into what it should be.
But you and
yeah,
Dion,
yeah. And
I mean, Dion's been what, like 8 years now, so he's a fucking good drummer, man. That guy's good.
But
good.
it's like, I don't play the drums, even though I can program them. I can program them good, and I can play with loops that John Tempesta already wrote. But
you and
I'm
John
not,
Tempesta write all the lip.
Yeah.
All the music.
exactly. In fact, if he wants to start a band, I mean, I'm down. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know. I don't know if I have enough jewelry. I don't have enough jewelry to hang around those guys. Those guys all got rings on their fingers and shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go for the happy accident, like happenstance, like just throw it out, and then I think it's gonna coalesce into something, and that's how I've made these records so far. And the last one is even the more. I wasn't even present for the mix. I don't,
Really?
the less control. Well, yeah, because Alex is in the band now, and he knows what I'm doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that's
and-
what I was going to ask you. Where does Alex? Alex, was it Schuster?
Yeah.
Where does Alex come from?
So we made a Lifestyle of a Moth, and then we're like, man, you know what? Like, we need another guitarist. Like, I'm gonna sing backup, and I'm not like the greatest singer player, but I can write a good riff, But it'd be cool if we had like, leads. And so, like, literally, we turn that record in, and then I write like 2 songs, and then I run an ad in Craigslist. And then like not saying, just like, band must have a passport, must be into this and this. and I got like, you know, a bunch of things.
Must like the band 16.
Yeah.
I didn't put that.
Oh, we got a
I didn't
story
put
about that.
that.
We'll tell you something. I'll tell you something funny in a minute, but go ahead.
So literally he was like the you know, a few people we had in mind, a few people from other bands we had in mind, but he shows up and we just kind of bonded over weird death metal. Like I like that band Gorefest from Holland.
Yep.
Gorefest. Gorefest was like the strange, like not a lot of people like him. And then he shows me a Gorefest tattoo.
Oh, that's fucking
He's like,
awesome.
I got a Gorefest tattoo.
And
You're like, you're in the band.
You're in.
Go get your shit. You're in the band.
Friends forever.
Yeah, and then you know, and then he's like, oh, you know, you play in this tuning, and he goes, you know, who plays in this tuning? Grave, and Grave Solace is like my favorite record of all time from that era. And then he's like playing the Grave songs, and I'm like, well, show me this. So we just sit there and play Grave songs, and then like Chris is texting me. He's like, do you like him? And I'm like, yeah, he's the guy.
I like him a lot.
He's like,
we just became stepbrothers.
I'm all, no, we're gonna do this like a biker gang. Like you're gonna be a hanger. You're gonna be a hanger on.
Exactly.
And we're gonna get you drunk.
Yeah, proxy.
And we'll
let you prospect. Maybe
prospect. That's
we're gonna sleep on some Super 8 floors. And we're gonna see if you're the dude. And he was obviously the dude, you know.
Yeah.
He was obviously the dude. And now he writes like half of our songs. So
what about Barney Ferks? Is he a tattoo artist, that guy, or
no, Barney is kind of a local legend in San Diego. He played with this lady, Sylvia Jancola, in the late 80s, who was on SST Records, who you know, toured with Poison Idea, toured with the Rollins Band, toured with the Streaming Trees. You know, he had been to Europe. He played in this band that was kind of big in San Diego called the Burning Hands, and he was like a package deal with Dion. They were in another band, you know, and so at the time, you know, 16, we went on after the deep cuts for Dark Clouds, whatever these records are called. We went on a tour with Tombs and them, and you know, me and Chris had fun, but Tony didn't have as much fun, and the drummer, the guy from Buzz Oven, Mateo, was kind of a package deal with him, since they kind of commuted together and lived in LA. I lived in San Diego, and so they were just like, I'm done. And then I was just like, all right. You know, I mean, it's a band. It's not a cure for cancer. I don't really. You can come and go. You know, I'm gonna. At this point, someone will gravitate towards me and fill your. You know, eventually, and that's what happened with getting. You know, about 8 years ago, after that record, Barney and him, and we just jammed a couple times, and they knew all the tunes. They had like, you know, oh, play this one. I was like, I don't know. Show me my own song. I don't know.
I don't fucking remember that.
I haven't played that shit in years.
That's awesome.
So, and that still happens. That still happens today, where they want to play some old song, and I'm like, how does that go? That thing I wrote when I was like 25.
They give you the record. Here you go. Here's the.
Give you your own fucking your own. It's funny.
What's funny is when Barney first got in the band, I made all these videos of me showing him the tunes at that time, and so then I go back to those videos of me, and they teach me now.
Hey, it works, right?
When you can snatch pebble from hand, you can play 16 too.
Like Tenacious D. What does he have? The pick or something?
The pick of destiny.
The pick of destiny. Well, it's funny you said you said something.
That really stands up.
Oh yeah, it's
it does, man. Yes, you are fucked. Shit out of luck. You suck my god.
No, don't say that.
Best devil ever. Best devil ever.
We have to edit that out because someone will get offended.
No, they won't. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. I'm not talking about Bones Brigade.
We interviewed. I'm sure you've heard of them. Talking about like auditioning people for bands. We interviewed Alex from Circus of Power. Are you familiar with Circus of Power?
Oh yeah.
So I fucking love Circus.
Saw him with Zodiac Mind Warp when I was in high school.
Yeah, they toured.
And it was one of the scariest shows I've ever been to.
Crazy man.
Hell's Angels.
Great. I was gonna say great crowd, but it was just like the goth biker crowd
Yes,
from LA,
yeah,
and I was just a little white kid. I was just all.
So Alex says a couple years ago, he's looking to start getting back into music. So he answers this ad, band looking for lead singer into Circus of Power, blah, 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 blah. So Alex calls and goes, hey man, like I'm fucking looking to play again. And I saw you guys are into Circus of Power. And he's like, I'm Alex. Like I sang in Circus of Power. And they're like, yeah, that's cool, bro. We want someone that's like you, but not you because you're basically too fucking old. I'm just like, that is so fucked up. You could have got the guy from Circus of Power in your band, but you don't want him because you want someone like him because he's old. That's the fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard, man. Mariah, I want someone like you, but not you.
I think we should actually call him back and start a band because that would be awesome.
Yes. But he was like, well, fuck it. He ended up getting Circus of Power guys back together, and they just released a song with like I think 2 or 3 of the original members. Gary Sunshine played on it and all that. But
that EP that came out.
He was a cool interview, man.
You remember Dead Horse too?
Yeah,
Dead Horse in that era was fucking bitching, man.
It was kind
from,
of like
New Orleans, right? Dead Horse from New Orleans or from Louisiana? That one?
I thought they were from Texas. Maybe. I don't know.
You're right. You're right. Texas. Yeah. Texas.
It was kind of like that dirty biker sleazy rock type stuff that nobody listened to.
It was pre-grunge.
Yes,
but it was a part of grunge. Like grunge, I don't think would have happened if it wasn't for those guys.
Right.
Well,
they had
for bands like that.
It was kind of coming out of Guns N' Roses into Nirvana.
Like exactly.
Guns N' Roses. Bridge, Axl Rose admits he ripped off fucking Rose Tattoo. David Lee Roth admits he ripped off fucking what's his name? Fucking Jim Dandy from the fuck is Jim Dandy's band? Red Oak, Arkansas, or Black Oak, Arkansas.
Oh, Black.
That's who. Yeah, if you watch old Jim.
Oh, wow, you're right. Yeah, it looks just like him too.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
And he had the cock pants, the spandex with the shit smashed and the fucking fringe.
Yep.
He Roth admits, hey man, I fucking ripped off this guy for years and nobody figured it out. So people were ripping off people throughout the fucking years, man. It's just we did an episode, a podcast where we talked about those bands that never quite got to the next level because grunge came in and just took over, and that was one of the bands that we expunged by grunge
that we loved. Was Circus of Power. Is just one of these, fuck man. I saw them open up for Faith No More on the Real Thing tour in a small club. And I told Bill this and I told Alex this. My buddy was in front of the stage and they had like one of those cafeteria tables tilted with the feet up against it, and that was the barricade, so you couldn't get close to it. And my buddy got so shit ass wasted before the show that he's standing in front there, and the very first song Alex starts to sing, my buddy projectile vomits all over the front of the stage, in front of the monitors, and in front of Alex's feet. And Alex, without missing a beat, goes, now that right there, that's a true fan of the band. Get him out of here. But yeah, that's what it was. That sleazy rock. And then, fucking Kurt Cobain came through and everything changed. Yeah, everything.
Sweater on his guitar. So what's going on now? You said you've got basically you got 21 cover songs written or recorded?
Well, no. We have 13 new songs for a new album. I have about half the vocals done. We're going to do things a little bit different, that I'm going to finish the vocals to all of those, and then we're going to have someone else mix it. Like I said, at this point, I want my hands off it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like, what we sound like a heavy band. There's some melodic vocals, there's some screaming. This is it. I want you to see what you can do with it, and I'm willing to pay for it. And I don't know when the time frame. We have a gig, a tour booked or going to be booked in Europe for like October of 22, where we're going to go over there for a month. So we're gonna try try to, bookend an album. So I have, a year and a half to get an album together. If I'm going to push it out, then it'll probably come out sooner.
Mhm.
I haven't talked to Relapse. I haven't talked to any labels about it. And to be honest with you, I never do. Luckily that people will hopefully listen to what I make and let us put out a record. But if this turns into a huge demo and I throw it all away and start over, I'll do that. I won't though, hopefully, because I have my quality standards. But and I say this every single record, it's the best shit I've ever done. But I think I was right on the last one. There's some tunes that'll be with us forever on the last one.
Oh yeah,
like
fuck yeah.
half that new album we can play live, that are great songs.
I have to interject here just for 1 minute because I got to know so when I got into you guys, it was Zoloft Smile. It was seeing the video for Damone that I just thought was fucking brilliant. I love that song. I love that song. But my favorite 16 song of all time is on the new album. Me and the Dog Died Together. What the fuck is that about? That is the best song you have ever, hands down for me.
He showed you.
Come here, Clyde. Come here, Clyde. Clyde.
Same thing with my
Clyde. Come here. Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
This is Clyde. This is Clyde.
Hey, buddy.
Big Clyde.
Oh, Big Clyde.
The big old black dog.
Yeah.
That was Chris's idea for the vocals.
Because he's got all his Pitbull, right?
Yeah, I wrote the whole song at home to John Tempesta's loops and show the rest of the band.
Johnny Tempest. I'm gonna send John Tempesta this interview. And I'm gonna make him reach out to you.
You're gonna get a gift package in the mail from John Tempesta because he
like drumsticks and
he's gonna show up like Beetlejuice.
Dude, you know what? That's funny. You guys remind. I think I'm gonna try to eBay a signed just something about John Tempesta. So yeah, and I don't know about videos. I don't know which will be the song. There is a lot more melodic stuff on it because I have that ability. Like I did it on Sadlands and I can do it again. So I've written some, basically I'm going to try to destroy 16, what you guys think 16 is and was. And then I'm going to come out with an album that sounds exactly like 16 because I do this every time and I'm unsuccessful in destroying it. So I think
I love it. I love it when people fucking step outside of the box and are like, you know what? This is my fucking band. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah. If we're gonna have a country song, we're gonna have a jazz song, if we're gonna have a garage song, whatever, it's all there. And like I say this now, but then when Me and the Dog Die Together was gonna be one of those songs where I was like totally trying to write a fast song, and then it came up to be Poppy 16. So I write what I write, and I can't. There's no escaping it.
You're effective. You're effective in your ineffectiveness.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm just gonna, we're at this age. I'm 48. Some of the other guys are 50. Alex is like 46. We practice 3 times a week. We're
wow, that's a rarity.
Serious nerds. Yeah. If you want to cover a strange Kiss song, we're doing it. If we want to cover Blue Oyster Cult, we're doing it. If we like this other band, we're gonna play it.
That's the original poster from '77. See it?
Way in the back.
Oh, dude, what we do a killer version of right now is Rocket Ride.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah. Like we do a killer version. We slow it down, and we do all the harmonies.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait to record that. So
that's the fun shit. Though. That makes go. I love going to see bands. I remember going to see Buzz Oven and hearing them do "Don't Bring Me Down," and then when Bill and I went and saw them, everybody sang at the end of the song when they did. Remember they did "Simple Man," and fucking Kirk just put his guitar down.
Everybody lost their fucking mind,
and he felt, and he just got as close to the floor. He's like, "Mama told me."
Hey, you know what? This might be a good time to end. My phone is dying.
Uh-oh.
We have this problem all the time, right, Bill?
Yeah, we do. People's
with Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's awesome. Thank
So-
you for
Yeah, man.
we'll have you back on again, hopefully, man. And you know, and maybe, you know, Dion, I'd like to reach out to him too and get him on because I know he's played in other stuff and done stuff. So if you talk to Dion and we reach out to him, be like, yeah, man, these guys weren't total dickheads. Like, talk to him for at least 10 minutes.
Dion's got a crazy knowledge of 70s music too. He'll probably blow your guys' mind.
Ah,
with
right on, man.
And
shit.
he's a
He'll-
pug guy.
he'll-
He's a pug
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
He'll pull out the you know Blood Rock. What does he have me listening to the other day? Have you
Blood
heard of
Rock. That's a great album, man. Oh fuck yeah. Blood Rock, Cactus, all that shit. back then.
Cactus is the best.
Yeah,
Blood Rock
exactly.
is
I've
great.
never heard any of that shit.
Cactus,
yeah.
Cactus just put out a new
My-
song. Actually, they just put out a new song.
My phone is at 10% now, so we did 2 hours. So thank you,
Cool.
brothers. Good
Oh,
times.
thank you.
Bobby,
Thank you
this
very
has been
much,
wicked
Bobby.
cool. Oh, and Mike Hill says to say hello. By the way,
What's up, Mike? Love that guy.
And
badass dude.
we'll talk to you soon. And thanks again, man. We appreciate it. Any last
course.
minute stuff prior to us firing this off into Cyberland?
No, man. Thanks for paying attention to what we do. We fucking appreciate it for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care,
All right,
Bob.
guys. Take care.
Yep.
Bye
See ya.
bye.